This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only. Anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, our government is protecting the bad actors and putting the entire economy and our money at risk, okay? And this is just my opinion. But the U.S. regulators privately finds that weak risk management at half of large banks. So they investigate these large banks. They find major issues at more than half of them, and they don't want to share that information with the public. Do you think that is productive? That you have large banks that obviously aren't meeting the minimum standards set forth by the government, and the government don't want to tell us the names of these banks, probably because they're trying to avoid a run on the money. But it means that our money, if it's in these particular banks, our money is at risk. Our money's at risk, and the government is refusing to tell us which banks are having these issues, which banks have bad management, which banks are over leveraged. They are refusing to tell us. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency did the investigation, and while they will admit that a third of the banks were rated at 3 or less, a third of the banks were rated at 3 or less, half of the large banks were weak with risk management issues. But they said it's private, and they're not going to share which banks didn't pass with the public. Does that give you any confidence in our banking industry, where the comptroller, the one who's supposed to be enforcing the bank rules, making sure the banks are complying with the rules for, solvency, that they're not following the rules? They have weak management in place. They're at risk of failing, and they're refusing to tell us which banks it is. This is very, very scary to me. And I don't know which banks it is, but I have some ideas. And, and this is just my opinion. I bet you Citigroup is at the top of that list. I would assume that Citigroup is at the top of that list. That is just my opinion. I have no proof of that. I don't know. But everything I've been seeing with Citigroup over the past 12 months, I would say Citigroup is probably on that list. But the fact that the Office of Comptroller of the Currency refuses to tell us which banks are at risk is very, very scary. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's great for regulatory agencies to find problems with institutions, with banking institutions, and then hold that information private and not share it with the public, so we can have our money probably in a bank that's about to collapse? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.